He
shouldn't have pulled
absolutely,
up, but
he absolutely suffered a concussion. But
he definitely suffered a concussion on that one. But he shouldn't have pulled up. But again, I
Cam,
can't see even a young up and coming quarterback like David Carr. I can't see somebody hitting David Carr like that. I just can't see it.
man, I tell you what, I have to find some different music because we can only play instrumentals due to
Or
copyright
Derek Carr.
restrictions.
Yeah, not David. David is his brother. I'm sure he would never want to be compared to his brother.
Absolutely not.
I'm sorry, Mr. Carr.
Well, was it Carr like on The Bachelor?
I just remember he was in Houston and he was like terrible. Like the worst thing of all time.
Of all time?
And, yeah, he was like one of the worst quarterbacks of all time. And if I apologize, Derek. I apologize. You do not want to be confused with your brother, David. But I can't see anyone hitting a young up and coming quarterback like Derek Carr like that.
Oh, that's an ad on the internet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Let's do this.
Okay.
I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen.
We got something new here going
technical
on.
difficulties. Yeah, we're using the laptop as well, which we never do. And it's picking up. Bam. Problem solved.
There we go.
Yeah. So another statistic I wanted to bring up was defensive players has been flagged 9 times for roughing the passer or unnecessary roughness on Cam.
Mm-hmm.
That puts Cam top 10 amongst QBs in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
That's since 2013, since he came in the league. So he's in the top 10 of penalties getting called against him. And so the referee's like, okay, well, you're in the top 10. What are you griping about? Why are you complaining so much?
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Ray Lewis, who kind of sees it, well, he very nicely broke it down on the way you can think of from a defensive end and an offensive end. I'm going to play the sound bite and let me know what you think.
Okay.
How do you think Cam has handled all of this?
All right, I'm going to give you 2 sides of this. God darn it. Because when you watch the game, the rules are different for the quarterback position. Bottom line. And when you watch Brady, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, when you watch all of these guys, if you whiff by them, they throw a flag quickly in the pocket. Yeah, oh my gosh. I almost lost my mind in New England to see Suggs blow by Brady's knee and never touch him and watch Brady scream to the refs, that's a flag. And the ref dropped the flag. And when you see these hits, some of these hits that Cam is taking from the quarterback position, you have to say, why don't you call that? Like, why isn't that a penalty for Cam Newton? Like, why? Because he's bigger than most of these people who's coming in and hit him? Or because he's physical? But because he dances? What it is, why is it that Cam Newton don't get the same treatment that most quarterbacks get? So I'm with him 100% on, if you're gonna call the game like that, then call the game like that. Now, let me flip that, okay? And let me go from my perspective. I'm trying to hit Cam. I'm trying to, from a defensive perspective. You know this. When we had a thing, Steve McNair was one of the most physical quarterbacks that you can ever play against, one of the most toughest quarterbacks you will ever play against. And we sat in the meeting and said, somebody got to hit him all day long. And he got to keep getting up off the ground until he gets tired of being hit. So do I understand it from a defensive perspective on why you got to get to somebody like this? You got to slow this guy down. This guy he's a game changer if you let him start leaning on your DBs, leaning on your linebackers. He putting shoulders on them. Now, when in the pocket, for me, I said this on a soundbite after New England and Brady got this call and everything and losing my mind. And I'm like, listen, I put on my pants one leg at a time, just like he do. And I promise you, he can't spend his money in heaven where I'm going. So it don't matter how much money you got or who your wife or who this. It's football. And if you step out here on the battlefield, deal with it. And so do I understand what Cam is saying from the quarterback position? Absolutely. But I'm also telling you that in a game like this with a guy that physical, if I'm a defensive guy, man, I'm drawing up every blitz to get to you, to hit you, to make you keep getting off the ground. I want to see these press conferences if I'm a defensive player.
Ray Lewis.
I agree, except for the bounty he put on Steve McNair's head and the heaven and money part.
Yeah,
but I totally agree with you, Ray. Why are you putting bounties on people's head? Okay.
That was clearly a bounty on Steve McNair. Like
we got to hit him in every play. To hit him. That sounds like a bounty to me, Roger Goodell. But hey, he's out the league.
He's gonna fill us.
Rest in peace, Steve McNair. Ray's out the league. I guess we just let it slide.
What was the he can't spend money where I'm going? What was that? Was Tom Brady going to hell?
I think they think Tom's a rich, spoiled kid with the hot, model wife. So that's what he said. Don't matter who his wife is, how much money he got.
Have to do with anything?
But, I mean, other than that, the bouncy and the heaven and the hot wife thing, I agree with Ray 1,000%, because you've seen it, I've seen it. Certain quarterbacks have a different set of rules.
Yeah.
And Tom Brady yells at a referee. He drops his little yellow flag. You whiff at Aaron Rodgers' head. They're going to drop their flag. They don't do it for Cam. But again, I'm not mad at Von Miller for launching, or whoever else wants to launch at Cam's head, because that's what they're supposed to do. But don't have these different sets of rules and just say you care about concussions and player safety and all this and all that. I'm just seeing something totally different.
Well, that's the bigger question. The NFL harps itself on player safety.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's the case, then, why not protect your former MVP?
No, we're throwing flags for Josh Norman shooting an imaginary bow and arrow.
Or Earl Thomas hugging the ref.
Yeah, that's a flag.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
Throw a flag on that.
Yeah, exactly.
But Cam gets smacked in the head.
Nothing.
Now, I was watching highlights of the Arizona Cardinal game.
Yeah.
Where he clearly was slammed to the ground after he threw the ball 15 seconds before. That could have easily been a dislocated shoulder.
Yeah.
The average quarterback, Tony Romo, would have been out for 2 years.
Body cast.
2 years. That hit to Tony Romo broke his back.
Yeah, he had a little tag on the back there.
He clearly, and I've seen it where defenders would throw their weight on top of your shoulder just to dislocate it.
Yeah, just to break it.
Cam luckily is, physically fit and it didn't really hurt him, but
50.
He has a point. Now, you have players coming out of the woodworks like even Russell Wilson giving out quotes saying, if I didn't want to get hurt, I would play tennis.
Yeah.
So when you have guys like that, like Russell Wilson, coming out of the
doesn't look tough, but Russell's tough.
Yeah, what's the perception on Cam now? Because in the streets, as Khaled was saying, the streets, that would be snitching. Snitches get stitches in the street.
But you have to say something. Like, there have been so many calls where this man ain't getting the benefit of nothing. Like, he's not just this was the first time. How long Cam been in the league? 6, 7 years? 6 years?
Since 03? Right?
Nah, not 03. No.
Not 03, but...
what was that? He went to Auburn a few years, 4 or 5, maybe.
Was it 2013? That wasn't his rookie year,
I'm thinking 2010, but I'm not sure. Gotcha. I'm thinking 2010. But he's been in the league, for a while. And he hasn't come. This is the first time me hearing this. Me as a fan, I've been seeing it for years, but he hasn't ever said anything about it. So I don't know why he gets labeled as a crybaby or a whiner or not wanting to get touched. I don't understand that part.
Yeah, he has it's a bad rep on Cam right now. But let's get off of Cam, but let's stay in the NFL.
2011 was his rookie year.
2011, okay.
For what, 5 years?
Now,
6 seasons, yeah.
The subject of the bounty, it kind of came, out of left field. I know on Instagram, I sent out a photo of Brian Baldinger, the announcer from NFL Network, went on this Philadelphia radio show, and before Dallas played Philadelphia, was telling the Philadelphia Eagles how they should place a bounty on Zeke Elliott.
Wow.
Did you hear anything about that?
No, I didn't hear anything about that.
Googled that right quick, because I don't have... This is off the fly, and this wasn't in the notes. Brian Baldinger, I believe, or something like that. Yeah, B-A-L...
Okay, I saw it. Is that it?
Yeah, I think that Baldinger. Anyways, but he was nah, that's
definitely not the right one.
Let's see. But he was mostly talking about how they needed to rough up Zeke. They said you have the guy coming in with the crop top shirt, and then he was talking. That's it.
Oh, he's been suspended.
Absolutely, and rightfully so. After the crazy stuff he said about Zeke. I mean, man.
Ray Lewis might be suspended from Fox Sports after that.
Do they have the quotes?
Let's see. Let's see here. I don't see any just yet. Yeah, this is a guy that we've got to hurt. This is the guy that we've got to take out of the game. There's got to be 10 guys that want to hurt him every single play. In fact, we may even put a little bounty on Ezekiel Elliott.
Even said it.
Wow.
Put a bounty on him.
Yeah.
Now,
so what is he?
He's like he's an analyst.
An analyst, okay.
Yeah. Now, you being an analyst for a company that's clearly supposed to be about player safety, how you even fix your mouth to come out and say something like that?
Now, this is the NFL Network's.
NFL Network. Yes.
Wow.
How do you fixate your mouth to say something like that?
I don't know.
And I mean, he went on and on and on about
Oh yeah, so Elliott bugs him because of his arrogance, said Baldinger, pointing to the belly shirts he wore to the draft.
He's a kid.
He's a kid. He bugs me. He's arrogant.
And I'm glad Zeke went ham on Philly, man. I'm glad he went ham. How much money did you lose, Mr. Baldinger, whatever your freaking name is? Lighten up. It's mostly tongue in cheek.
Nah, you meant that.
Yeah, you meant to say that.
You meant that, bro.
Lucky all thing they did was suspend him and not terminate him. But
yeah.
Back to the next subject. MVP race. It's week 9. Starting to get a little tighten up. And I just wanted to go over a few people who I think is in the MVP running. Before I go over mine, top 5, who you got?
Dak Prescott better not be on your list.
He's not.
And Ezekiel Elliott better not be on your list.
Zeke is listed. Absolutely is. I will get to why momentarily.
Okay.
Who you got?
I mean, to be honest,
just give me 2.
Tom Brady. I know he hadn't played.
Yeah.
He hadn't played all the games, and he's probably going to be disqualified. But, I mean, to me, they're the best team in the NFL. I know Dallas has the best record, or one of the best records, tied for the best record. But in reality, I think the Patriots are the best team, and Tom Brady's their best player, so therefore, he's the MVP. Another play, Drew Brees. He's made a comeback. Do they have a comeback player of the year award or something? Or? He
played last year though.
But barely. Who cares? The team was trash, and he's like truck rolling people now with that offense, man. He's doing. The record is better than what I thought they would be for the Saints. But those are my, 2.
It's nothing to argument. But see, that's an argument going on right now. If Tom Brady should be even considered for MVP because
Yeah,
he
he
missed a
hadn't
couple
played all
games.
the games. Yeah.